Kia ora and hello, I'm Chester for Earth Sciences New Zealand. This is your Thursday update on Tropical Cyclone Vaianu. It is still a tropical cyclone located just north of New Zealand, more like halfway between New Zealand and Fiji. Let me show you where the system is on our satellite here. And you can see there's New Zealand there where my cursor is, and there is the center of the storm. Looks like the convection or storm activity is primarily on the south and east side or south and east quadrants of the storm now, but we've gotten a flare-up of brand new convection in the last few hours here. This video recorded a little after 3 o'clock here on Thursday. The Met Service is now tracking this storm system. It was a Category 2 as of their last update, which was about noon on Thursday. The system is expected to transition to what we call extratropical or post-tropical, so it'll lose its tropical characteristics as it moves over that cooler water. But don't get bogged down on the fact that it is a tropical cyclone and will no longer be a tropical cyclone when it arrives in New Zealand. Just know that it is going to be a very impactful weather situation for us this weekend, so this is the time to prepare. Know your emergency plans. Maybe do some light stocking up. Make sure that your Sunday plans revolve around the weather, and you want to stay weather up to date throughout the next several days. Again, Met Service has already issued some watches for wind and rain for much of the North Island, so you want to get on their website and their apps to get the latest. And of course, we've popped in your feed here to give you an update, so if you bear with me, watch for a couple minutes. We'll kind of break down things here as things go along. So again, Category 2 storm at this recording. If you're seeing this on Friday, that may have changed. So again, check the Met Service app for the latest on this soon-to-be very impactful cyclone. Again, expected to have the biggest impacts late Saturday night into Sunday here in New Zealand. So I'm going to jump over to our global model here, the UN model. And the reason why I'm showing you that is because it has it goes out farther in range physically. And in addition to that, it also goes out a little bit farther in time. So we'll go to the global model here, and this gives you kind of an idea of what will happen with the system. So I'm going to reverse time here back towards 4 o'clock in the afternoon here. Thursday, you can see the cyclone is expected to continue to move southward, and by Friday afternoon, it is getting closer to New Zealand's waters. We're already seeing that high cloud envelop much of the North Island, and we'll start to see the winds pick up, likely, if not late Friday, certainly by Saturday. And let me switch to the wind. You can see strong, gusty winds expected across much of the upper North Island by the time we get to midday on Saturday. Go back to the precipitation and the pressure, and you can see that very wrapped-up cyclone. At this point, no longer a tropical cyclone, but still very impactful. By Saturday evening, it is approaching Northland, and we're starting to get heavy rain a little bit before midnight. So expect the potential for some warnings in these areas across Northland, perhaps the Auckland region, and certainly down through the Waikato and the Coromandel by the time we get to early on Sunday morning. Sometime Sunday morning to midday, the storm is expected to make landfall. The current forecast track as of this recording has it making landfall right over the Coromandel. You can see this particular model thinks it's going to be a little farther to the west. I think when all is said and done, I wouldn't be surprised if the storm track moves a little bit or gets nudged a little farther to the east. But either way, the impacts will probably be similar. The Coromandel, the Bay of Plenty, northern Gisborne will see incredible impacts in the form of a brief period of very heavy rain leading to potential flooding. Strong, gusty winds as well. And, with the wind and the rain impacts, more than likely we're going to see trees get knocked down, especially the fact that it's an unusual wind direction, an easterly wind, starting off as southeasterly and eventually changing easterly here as the storm approaches. Strong winds gusting upwards of 70, 80, 90, maybe up to 100 to 110 kilometers per hour. And then, of course, we're going to see some strong wave action. Incredibly strong waves with heights somewhere around that 6, 7, perhaps up to 8 meters in wave height. And in addition to that, the swell. So with the waves and the swell, we're expecting beach erosion, storm surge, and the swell generation is going to be quite elevated with this storm as it moves across the North Island over the days to come. So again, this is what it looks like on Sunday morning on the global model here. You can see some very strong winds here pushing in those eastern coastal areas of the Coromandel, the Bay of Plenty. I'm going to drop some plinths on the map so you can kind of see what the winds are forecast to be. This is a computer-generated forecast, so take it with a grain of salt. But notice that some of the areas here of the Coromandel and the Bay of Plenty picking up on gusts exceeding 110 kilometers per hour. So very strong easterly fetch here, strong easterly winds. And again, as that wind bumps up against the ranges there, we expect a heavy amount of rainfall at the same time. So that's the global model. I'm going to show you the New Zealand LAM. And what's interesting about the New Zealand LAM, it's one of our high-resolution models that is just getting to the time period where we're seeing the storm system approach New Zealand. So the model goes all the way out to Sunday morning at 6 a.m. So when we get back into your feed and we record another video here on Friday, we'll be able to take the model, the high-resolution model, all the way through Sunday and into early Monday. But you could see those impacts already. Heavy rain, which will likely lead to that flood threat, especially flash flood threat with a quick amount of rain in such a short amount of time. And in addition to that, the slips and landslide threat that we're expecting with some of this heavy rain throughout the day on Sunday. You can see heavy rain falling at this point here about Northland, the Auckland region, down through the Coromandel, the Western Bay of Plenty. I'm going to switch to another layer here. This kind of gives you an idea of what sort of rain we would expect with this. And again, this only goes to 6 a.m., so this only covers the very beginning of this storm system. And our New Zealand LAM already putting down 100-plus millimeters of rain in the ranges of the Coromandel. So that gives you an idea of what to expect. This is going to be a hefty rainmaker as the system moves in, but it's going to happen in a short amount of time. Generally in less than 24 hours, and for some locations, the heaviest rain will occur in a period under 12 hours, maybe as short as 5, 6, 7 hours of very heavy rain coming down all at once. So fast and furious rain amounts, again, would lead to the potential for those slips and the quick rises of the rivers and streams. All right, let's move on to the New Zealand Ensemble. Okay, so what's great about the New Zealand Ensemble, it's basically one model. We run it out 18 times, 18 different what we call perturbations, a little tweak to the model physics to give you an idea of what to expect in the long-range forecast going out 5 days here. And the model here, I'm going to show you the chance of us seeing rain exceeding a certain amount, okay? So the chances of us seeing rainfall exceeding 100 millimeters, not much showing up here on Saturday, which makes sense. That's before the storm arrives. But on Sunday, you start to see certain areas favored for some heavy rain. And again, unsurprisingly here, the Coromandel, especially about the ranges there, and down through the ranges about the Bay of Plenty there, from Tauranga southward towards Rotorua as well, and then parts of the Gisborne region. And it looks like there is a signal as well for portions of the Hawke's Bay region. So again, this is the chances of us seeing 100 millimeters or more, and that's a medium to high chance across those areas shaded there in the orange. How much rain do we actually get? Well, this is a computer estimate here, as basically an average of the ensemble, and this takes you all the way through the 9 a.m. Monday time period, okay? So our New Zealand ensemble here is putting down pretty hefty amounts of rain. Again, this all falls in a short period of time in that 60 to 80, 90 millimeter range for the eastern part of Northland. Throughout the Auckland region, I'll drop a couple more numbers here, and you can see in the ranges there of the Coromandel approaching 170 millimeters of rain, and in places like Tauranga and Whitianga, likely to approach 100 millimeters of rain in a short period of time. And then you can see the ranges there of North Gisborne, about the East Cape region, and east of Whakatane, we've got 200 to 300 mils showing up there. No slouch here. Parts of Hawke's Bay potentially could see some heavy rains as well as the low moves southward and offshore. Then you could see some heavy totals as well. This may be a little on the low side, but the potential for some heavy rain even into the Marlborough region as well. So that's something that we'll be keeping an eye on. But yeah, large amounts of rain expected with this system. I'm going to scoot over to the wind because this is a graphic that shows you the chances of winds exceeding 70 kilometers per hour gusts. Okay, so we go back to Friday. Not much there, but you see Saturday, we're already starting to see the impacts of the cyclone as it moves southward. And you can see a medium potential of 70 kilometer or per hour gusts or stronger. Eastern Northland, about the Auckland region, the Coromandel region. So this is going to be a strong wind maker as well. Now we get into Sunday, you can see that entire area pretty much covers the entire North Island at this point. It's a high chance that we'll see strong gusts here exceeding 70 kilometers per hour or stronger. Northland, Auckland, Coromandel, parts of the Waikato, exposed locations certainly, even the central North Island, about Tongariro and across the Hawke's Bay region, and even down through the Wairarapa and Wellington, certainly about the Tauruas, there's a good chance that we'll see those strong winds. And then on Monday, the entire North Island and portions of the South Island could see some gusty winds as the storm shoots off to the south, almost coming right across the North Island and moving south from the North Island and just east of the South Island. I want to show you this same graphic, but we're going to do winds exceeding 100 kilometer per hour. And again, not likely to happen on Saturday, but as we head into Sunday, you do see a signal for potential gusts exceeding 100 kilometers per hour across parts of Northland, Auckland, the Coromandel, Waikato. The biggest or strongest signal is in the Coromandel and the Bay of Plenty, and that also, in combination with the rain, I should say, and the wave action that we're expecting with this system, there's going to be a myriad of impacts. Any roads near the beaches and the coastal areas likely to see some flooding, surface flooding, of course, the threat for flash flooding in our rivers and streams. And again, with the unusual wind direction, likely that we're going to see some trees falling across parts of the Coromandel, Bay of Plenty, Gisborne region, and that could lead to those power cuts as well and other types of damage. So there's a lot to watch with the potential impacts for the system as it moves through for that Sunday time period. Last, but certainly not least, I'm going to show you the wave modeling here. And unfortunately, our high-res model doesn't go out as far as we'd like to, but I can show you one of the global models and gives you an idea of what to expect. So we're going to stop the clock here at Saturday morning at 6 a.m. That's when our New Zealand LAM model comes to an end. And the idea is that, yeah, you can see the LAM is showing up with 7-8 meter wave heights across the east coast of Northland, the Coromandel, and into parts of the Bay of Plenty. The unified model showing something similar as well, that model showing something similar with the wave heights approaching 7-8. This red shaded area, which is out into off to sea in the Bay of Plenty, but that's near the storm or just east of the storm center, that would be wave heights of 10 meters. These are impressive numbers, so we're going to have to watch for beach erosion, that swell generation, and the storm surge there in parts of the Bay of Plenty, Coromandel, and, of course, the Northland region. So a lot of different impacts to watch for Cyclone Vaianu. Still, as of this recording, a Category 2 storm, still classified as a tropical cyclone, but by the time we get into this time tomorrow, it is likely to be post-tropical, but still a very strong cyclone that will have significant impacts. And of course, the weather forecast is likely to change between now and then as we get newer model data, as the storm gets a little bit closer to New Zealand. So you'll want to check in again with the Met Service on the latest watches and warnings. We'll continue to hammer in the impacts that you may see for the storm system. It is a good time to get ready. It's not a panicking time. It's time to just go out and just go down your prep list, your checklist of what do you do before a big storm moves in. This is going to be a fast-moving storm, which is one good thing. The bad thing is that a lot of the impacts are going to happen very quickly over a period of several hours, late Saturday night into Sunday. So again, we'll have another video update on Friday sometime in the afternoon, so I hope you join us then. In the meantime, again, you can check the latest on the NIWA weather app and the NIWA website for weather forecasts. And, of course, the Met Service has the official warnings and watches, so you want to look on their app and their webpage as well for the latest. I am Chester for Earth Sciences New Zealand. Have a great day and be safe.